So we're reading Bhagavad-Gita as it is. Chapter 17, text 8 through 10. Huh?
8.
Yeah? 8 through 10.
8.
Just 8.
Text 8.
Just 8?
Just 8.
I was still 8 to 10. I don't know. There's no purport on 8.
10.
8 and 9, I have no purport.
Okay.
Ah, what? Isn't it? Or not? What do you say? 8, no purport. 9, no purport. I
10.
10? Okay. Hare Krishna. So we can say our invocation, Mangalacharan. Om Agyana Timarandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurin Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakaramayam Dadati Swaparantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Ditam Tam Sajivam Sarvaitam Sarvarutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Suti Devi Pranamami Hari Pre Panchakalpa Tribhyascha Kripa Sindhibhyevacha Petitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. You chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
No.
Vasudevaya.
The chant?
Om Namo Bhagavate
Yeah.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, text 8, chapter 17, entitled The Divisions of Faith. Ayu Sattva Balarogya Sukha Priti Vivardhana Rasya Snigdha Stira Hridya Ahara Sattika Priya. Translation is, foods dear to those in the mode of goodness increase the duration of life, purify one's existence, and give strength, health, happiness, and satisfaction. Such foods are juicy, fatty, wholesome, and pleasing to the heart. Text 9. Katvamla Lavanat Yushna Tikshna Ruksha Vidahina Ahara Rajasasyeshta Dukkha Shokamaya Prada. Translation, foods that are too bitter, too sour, salty, hot, pungent, dry, and burning are dear to those in the mode of passion. Such foods cause distress, misery, and disease. Okay, text 10. Yatayamam gatarasam puti paryashitam chayat uchishtam api chamidyam bhojanam tamasas priya yatayamam gatarasam puti paryushitam chayat uchishtam api chamidyam bhojanam tamasa priyam yatayamam gatarasam puti paryushitam chayat uchishtam api chamidyam bhojanam tamasa priyam Yatayamam gatarasam puti paryushitam chayat Uchishtamapi chamedyam Bhojanam tamasa priyam
Yatayamam gatarasam puti paryushitam chayat Uchishtamapi chamedyam Bhojanam tamasa priyam
Yatayamam gatarasam puti paryushitam chayat uchishtam api chamedyam bhojanam tamasa priyam
Yatayamam gatarasam puti paryushitam chayat uchishtam api chamedyam bhojanam tamasa priyam. Okay. Yatayamam, food cooked 3 hours before being eaten.
before being eaten.
Gatarasam, tasteless. Puti, bad smelling. Paryushitam, decomposed. Cha, also. Yet, that which. Uchishtam, remnants of food eaten by others. Api, also. Cha, and. Amedyam, untouchable. Bhojanam, eating. Tamasa, to one in the mode of darkness. Priyam, dear. Okay, translation purport by His Divine Grace, Aisa Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Food prepared more than 3 hours before being eaten, food that is tasteless, decomposed, and putrid, and food consisting of remnants and untouchable things, is dear to those in the mode of darkness. And the purpose of food, let's repeat. Food prepared more than 3 hours.
Food prepared more than 3 hours
Before being eaten. Food that is tasteless.
Food that is tasteless.
Decomposed and putrid. And food consisting of remnants. And untouchable things. Is dear to those in the mode of darkness. Okay, purport. The purpose of food is to increase the duration of life, purify the mind, and aid bodily strength. That's very important here. The purpose of food is to increase the duration of life, purify the mind, and aid bodily strength. Oh, Srila Prabhupada said, this is its only purpose. In the past, great authorities selected those foods that best aid health and increase life's duration, such as milk products, sugar, rice, wheat, fruits, and vegetables. These foods are very dear to those in the mode of goodness. Some other foods, such as baked corn and molasses, while not very palatable in themselves, can be made pleasant when mixed with milk or other foods. They are then in the mode of goodness. All these foods are pure by nature. They are quite distinct from untouchable things like meat and liquor. Fatty foods, as mentioned in the 8th verse, have no connection with animal fat obtained by slaughter. Animal fat is available in the form of milk, which is the most wonderful of all foods. Milk, butter, cheese, and similar products give animal fat in a form which rules out any need for the killing of innocent creatures. It is only through brute mentality that this killing goes on. The civilized method of obtaining needed fat is by milk. Slaughter is the way of subhumans. Protein is amply available through split peas, dal, whole wheat, etc. Foods in the mode of passion, which are bitter, too salty, or too hot, or overly mixed with red pepper, cause misery by reducing the mucus in the stomach, leading to disease. Okay, foods in the mode of ignorance or darkness are essentially those that are not fresh. Any food cooked more than 3 hours before it is eaten, except prasadam, food offered to the Lord, is considered to be in the mode of darkness. Because they are decomposing, such foods give a bad odor, which often attracts people in this mode, but repulses those in the mode of goodness. Remnants of food may be eaten only when they are part of a meal that was first offered to the Supreme Lord or first eaten by saintly persons, especially the spiritual master. Otherwise, the remnants of food are considered to be in the mode of darkness, and they increase infection or disease. Such foodstuffs, although very palatable to persons in the mode of darkness, are neither liked nor even touched by those in the mode of goodness. The best food is the remnants of what is offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In Bhagavad-Gita, the Supreme Lord says that he accepts preparations of vegetables, flour, and milk when offered with devotion. Putram pushpam phalam toyam. Of course, devotion and love are the chief things which the Supreme Personality of Godhead accepts. But it is also mentioned that the prasadam should be prepared in a particular way. Any food prepared by the injunctions of the scripture and offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead can be taken even if prepared long, long ago, because such food is transcendental. Therefore, to make food antiseptic, eatable, and palatable for all persons, one should offer food to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All right. So, as Krishna says, Yagya Shishtasina Santa Muchante Sarva Kilbishai Punjate Te Tukam Papam E Pajanti Atmakaranat. He says you should eat Yagya Shishtasina Santa, that the wise persons eat remnants of food that is offered in sacrifice. Yagya Shishtasina Santa. And Muchante Sarva Kilbishai, that clears all freedom from all sinful activities. Punjate te togam papo, ye pajanti atmakarana. That is, otherwise, if food is not offered first in sacrifices, if it's not offered to the Supreme Lord, at least somehow or other, then ye pajanti, muchate te togam papa. This is simply you're eating sin. So there's here it's described about foods in the mode of ignorance, goodness, and passion. Foods in the mode of ignorance. You've heard of napi? Have you heard of napi? No? That was in Burma. Srila Prabhupada tells us about napi. You heard of napi? Yeah. They say Srila Prabhupada talked about his members of the Gaudiya Math, his god brothers. They were going to Burma for preaching, and they were cooking puris in nice ghee. And the villagers were coming and saying, "What is that terrible smell? This is horrible." And they couldn't appreciate foods cooked for the Supreme Lord in nice ghee, whereas they had this preparation that was very dear to them. And they made that preparation. If anything was died in the village, they would put it in a clay pot and put the cover on it, and it would sit like that for months. And then they would drain liquids that were produced from that. And when they opened that pot, the whole village just smelled horrible. But this is very dear to those in the mode of ignorance, as described here. Putrid, decomposed, tasteless. But they're very much enjoying that because they're situated in that mode of ignorance. This is the nature of the living entity. Whatever he karanam guna sangasya sadasat joni janmashu, that we associate with different modes of nature by here, just like Krishna, the end of the last chapter, he says that that one has to follow the injunctions of the scriptures in order to make progress in life. And those who don't follow the injunctions of scriptures, they never attain happiness or peace. Excuse me. So then Arjuna is asking at the beginning of the chapter, he said, what is the nature of someone? What is it? Let's go back a little bit here. The first verse, he says, Arjuna inquired, "O Krishna, what is the situation of those who do not follow the principles of Scripture, but worship according to their own imagination? Are they in goodness, passion, or ignorance?" So then Krishna explains different kinds of faith. First of all, he describes different kinds of faith in the mode of passion, ignorance, and goodness. And then he goes on to say that not only faith, but food, food, austerities, charity, and sacrifices, all can be in these different modes. And by our association with these different modes, sadasad janma yonishu, we take birth. And in the 15th chapter, it describes that we get a particular kind of senses, because these senses are what we use to interact with the sense objects. Shrotam, chakshu, sparshanam, chak, different type of tongue, different nose, different ears. All of us have our individual senses. Oh my goodness. How do we stop that? These are different senses. Everyone has different senses. We're all individual persons with individual desires, and that is also karanam guna prakriti purusha prakriti purusha. What is it? Prakriti purusham prakriti stohi bhukte bhutasi katadguna. And then no, actually, in the second chapter, he says that sangat sanjayate kama. Sangat, by association, there he says attachment, association, attachment, sangat, sangat sanjayate kama, we are the desires, lust, desires, basically same, different persons. For the materialistic persons, that kama means lusty desires. But we can also turn it around, sangat sanjayate kama. If you associate, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was asked, what is the quality of Vaishnava? He says that the first thing is asat sangha. Sangha, that word is sangha, association. Asat sangha tyaga. You give up asat, materialistic association. Asat sangha tyaga e Vaishnavachara. This is the proper etiquette, the proper behavior of a Vaishnava, to give up, just like here, all these different divisions of faith, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has a very transcendental outlook. He says that Dvaite Bhadra Bhadra Sakali Saman. He says all these things, goodness, passion, and ignorance, basically from a transcendental viewpoint, it's all the same. Why is that? Because you have to take again birth. If you want to act in the mode of goodness as a nice qualified Brahmin, you have to take again your birth. And then maybe you have some problems, just like we have the example that King Nriga, he was a great king. Of course, kings usually in the mode of passion, but he was very charitable. He was trying to elevate himself and very charitable. He used to give thousands of cows in charity. So one time, one of those cows came back into his lot and he gave it again in charity. And this way, just a little small deviation from our karmic activities, whether it's goodness, passion, or ignorance. Of course, ignorance and passion is no hope. At least in the mode of goodness, there's some hope of elevation. But even in the mode of goodness, some kind of small deviation can give, and even then, even if he's not deviated, goodness, if without the, what is that? Dvaite Bhadra Bhadra Sakale Saman, E Balo E Manda E Sava Brahm. This is all illusion. Srila Prabhupada also gave example. He says that you're going out in the field, passing stool. If you see some dry stool, oh, this is good. If you see some wet stool, this is not good. So what is stool is stool. In the material world, you're going to take birth in the good family or a good situation in the mode of goodness. You're still taking birth. And Krishna says, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi Dukkha Doshanada. You have to see. Excuse. Bring anything with me. You have? So, Dukkha Doshana, you're taking birth in the mode of goodness and a nice family. Oh, thank you. You're going to have to suffer. I need something in my throat to get coughing. So, whatever we have to take. Hare Krishna. What is favorable for Krishna service we have to do? This is, again, you're taking birth in the family, in material family, even in the mode of goodness, in the family of a Brahmin. It's not safe position. Krishna says, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi. Because, you've taken birth. It's a miserable condition. You're going to get old. There's no avoidance. I don't think we haven't found anything yet how to avoid old age, no? And along with old age, of course, even in youth you can have disease, but it the chances become magnified as we grow older, I think, mostly. And death. Dukkha doshana darshanam. These things are miserable conditions. So what is the use of making nice arrangements? Of course, Krishna conscious devotee that he sees second chapter of the Bhagavatam, it says that what is that? Parthiva Dharano Drumas, that the wood is okay. Wood is compared to like the mode of Parthiva Dharano Drumas Tasmat Isnik Agnis Triyamaya Tamasas Tu Rajas Tasmat Sattvam Briyad Brahma Darshanam. He gives the example, just like wood is like in the mode of ignorance, and then you can have smoke. Smoke comes gradually, then you can have fire. So these are progressively helpful for the performance of sacrifice. And similarly, Rajasastu Sattvam Yad Brahma Darshanam, that ignorant of this mode of goodness, this can be helpful to give one understanding of spiritual life, but one has to make that final crossover. Vyavasayatmika buddhi no. Mam chayo vyabhicharina bhakti-yoga sevate sagunan samatityana. Until we get to that point of engaging in devotional service, Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate, then we can come actually to the Brahman's platform. Otherwise, there's no guarantee that one can remain situated in the platform of goodness. They'll be deviated in so many different ways. Just like Ajamil. Ajamil, he was raised very nice Brahmin family, taught so many Brahminical activities by his father, but by a little bit of association with the prostitute, he became fallen. So all these things are there. One has to make the best use of a bad bargain, Srila Prabhupada many times said. These are all different sayings that he used. We have to, of course, as we said, Brahman, we have to come to that platform. There's all I was looking. Brahmacharya ti brahmacharya. This is the brahmachari life, to always remain in Brahman platform, to engage always spiritual activities. And the easiest method for that is to always engage in the Sankirtan movement, chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave that recommendation, Kirtaniya Sadahari. And Krishna also says, Satatam Kirtayanto Imam. We have to always engage somehow or other in spiritual activities. This way, we're not touched by these different modes of nature. And of course, as stated here, we have to offer our foods to Krishna, whatever we eat. And then, this is also interesting that prasadam, food offered to the Lord, is always transcendental. There's a couple of pastimes in Lord Chaitanya's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he had, there's a couple pastimes he performed with his devotees. He came one time, he brought some Mahaprasad to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who was an established Brahmin. He was a very learned scholar. Lord Chaitanya heard from him and actually converted him to the bhakti cult. Before that, he was not acting as a devotee, displaying the pastimes of a devotee. But one time Lord Chaitanya came and visited him in the morning when he was just getting out of bed, and he brought him some Mahaprasad, and immediately the Sarvabhauma honored the Mahaprasad. And Lord Chaitanya said, we were taking Mahaprasad, you didn't even take your bath yet? He said, this is some Mahaprasad. Mahaprasad, we say at our house, short version. Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Brahmani Vaishnave Sopa Punya Vatam Rajan Vishvasona Vijayate. If you have Sopa Punya, if you have very little pious activities, then you don't appreciate this, what this Mahaprasad, Govinda, Nama, the holy name, Brahman, Vaishnava, these are all transcendental substances. And then also Lord Chaitanya, the devotees used to come and visit Lord Chaitanya, and they would bring all sorts of offerings because they would come from Bengal and they knew Lord Chaitanya from his childhood. They would come and visit him, and they would bring all sorts of nice foodstuffs that they had cooked for him, and that they knew that he liked because they knew him from his childhood. So they brought all these wonderful foodstuffs. And Govinda used to keep them in a room there, and where Lord Chaitanya was staying. And one time he told Lord Chaitanya, he said, all these devotees are all coming and they're asking me how you are enjoying the preparation that I cooked for you. And I have to tell them, I can't answer them properly because you haven't touched anything yet. So Lord Chaitanya just sat down and he ate everything in the whole room. And then they had brought all the way from Bengal. So, what is that? Patram Pushpapalam Yomi Bhakti Prayachati. Krishna, Lord Chaitanya, he accepts our bhakti. And this way, all this, of course, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. We should take these from these categories. I think the purport starts at in the past, great authorities selected those foods that best aid health and increase life's duration, such as milk products, sugar, rice, wheat, fruits, and vegetables. These foods are very dear to those in the mode of goodness. So these are categories. So we have to follow the instructions of the spiritual master, what types of foods that we can offer to Krishna, what types are foods are dear to him, and offer these foods to him. Just like the example is there that if I'm thirsty, if I want some water, and you bring me a glass of milk, no, I don't want milk now, I want some water. I want to quench my thirst. So we can try to find out from the devotees, the spiritual master, what foods are very dear to Krishna. What is that? Many pastimes are there. Ektina Shanti Pure Prabhu Advaita Garai. Dui Prabhu Bhojane Bosila. That one time in Shantipur, the two Prabhus, Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, came and sat down to have prasadam at Advaita Acharya's house. And Advaita offered some sak, just like we say spinach or something. Sak Koryaspadan Prabhu Bola Bhaktaganya. Sak Krishna Ashvatilo. That Krishna has taken this sak. So actually, if we can actually offer something nice to Krishna, and Krishna accepts that offering, then our whole life becomes successful. Not we have to do anything too difficult. Simply with Bhakti Mama Vidyanidhi, or Yomi Bhakti Prayachati. Do you have lessons, questions, or some comments? Yes, Prabhu?
Sometimes when you go to the grocer, or up in the West, the supermarket, and you buy fruits or vegetables, sometimes they're not completely pure, or they have been picked by somebody with bad karma. So if you're in the material world and you use these items in your food preparation, it's going to affect your karma.
It may, or it may not. Srila Prabhupada was told that the sugar was like filtered, I don't know exactly, but some fish bones or something were used in the processing of the sugar, and he didn't mind. He said that this we have to make the best use of a bad bargain, and we offer everything to Krishna. Also, when we pay for something, it also has some purifying effect like that. We can't, I mean, this is called niyamagraha. We had a little experience, a little bit, I mean, what we felt like that experience today about too much attachment to the rules and regulations. We can't think, like I said, like I quoted Krishna Das Kaviraj, that in this material world, everything is basically of the same quality. It's material. And unless we put that in Krishna's service, it's inauspicious for any other purpose. But if we connect that with Krishna, just like we have the light switch, unless it's turned on, there's no light. The electricity is there, but unless you turn the switch, it doesn't come. So as soon as we put Krishna's touch, everything can become, what is that, prophylactic. Then the Ishopanishad is described like that Krishna is antiseptic and prophylactic like that. That he completely purified, just like the sun can purify the dirty places that are on this world, like that. So, prapanchikataya budya harisambandhi vastuna. So we don't want to reject anything. We don't reject anything in this world. We want to see everything, how it's related with Krishna, and put it in its proper, utilize it for Krishna's service. There used to be devotees were very overly enthusiastic sometimes in the early days. They used to go into the store and offer the whole store to Krishna. So they were very enthusiastic. I don't know if Krishna, how much he accepted, but this is the way, this is the mentality that we should be very anxious to engage the whole world in Krishna consciousness, how to put everything in its proper place in Krishna consciousness. Everything has this relationship with Krishna because it's all Krishna's energy. We just have to know that is the art of spiritual mastery, does that. Anasaktasya vishaya. Without attachment for one's own personal comforts. For Krishna, we're engaging it in this service. Hare Krishna. Anything else? Is that all right? Can I stop? Oh, a couple minutes early. All right. Srimad Bhagavad-Gita ki jai. Srimad Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna